Cool, hi guys. So we're gonna discuss the profiles today. So what I expect you to do is just put your profiles over here, right? And I'm gonna see them, and we're gonna visualize the kind of questions you have done and kind of improvements you can have. You can also share your resumes or your CVs if you want that. So we are starting with Ritik Jain. Let's see this. Okay. Okay. So so I got a problem, man. You are actually pretty consistent, right? But yeah, something is going on. You're right. Okay, so you are actually stuck in this range, right? Now why
Yeah,
is that? Why is that? So you have been consistent. That's not a problem. You are giving contest consistently. Actually, you have grown, right? So you have grown from getting stuck in this particular range to this particular range. But still, the improvement could have been more. It has been around 1 year and 4 months. You have been giving the contest. So let's see what's the problem. Okay, let's visualize your graph, and yeah, I guess here's the problem. So you're always able to do a question in the contest, I guess, right? Ritik, still here with me? Hey Ritik, your mic is on mute.
yes.
Okay,
Hello.
you're always able to do a problem. How about the B problem? You get stuck on B.
Very rarely.
How about C?
It's 80% I solve. See,
Okay, so one thing weird I see in your graph is that it's obvious that actually you have solved a lot of contests, so the number of problems you have solved for A would definitely be high, but it's exponentially high. So they have solved 245 problems for A, right? Whereas when
yeah,
I
that all consists of contest problems.
yeah, that mostly comes from contest problems, but then you are saying that mostly you also solve B, right? So there should have been
Yes.
some increment over here too, but I don't see that. So either you are practicing contest A problems a lot. This should be
No,
coming from a
I'm not doing it.
hmm
I'm not doing practice of a problem now.
Okay, so why is this graph too much? So is it the case that when you started solving, then maybe like till over here something you were only able to do problem A itself?
Yeah, it could be at an initial phase.
Okay, cool, makes sense. Okay, so if I consider that right now you are able to solve A as well as able to solve B, so do you upsolve the problem C and D?
Yeah, before I was not doing upsolving, but now I am pretty
How
consistent.
long has it been?
Around 2 months.
Okay, so basically you started doing that in February, right?
Yes.
And yeah, you can actually see an improvement for because of that. From February onwards, you haven't dipped back to this pupil zone. You have stayed in
Yes.
specialist, right? So that is obviously
Yes.
helping now. Consisting, considering that you changed your approach right over here, right? So if you change your approach right over here, and for this entire time period of around 2 months, you are seeing a good progress, right? So you should follow the
Yes.
same approach. Had you made this approach long back, like maybe over here itself, then it could have been the case that you could have seen better results. But since you started upsolving right now, maybe that's the reason. Like it's gonna take some time, obviously now, right? Maybe in couple of more contests, you're gonna get to gonna get to expert. Also, did you give
It's
the
showing 43 delta, so I am expecting to become special expert on this
in this
contest.
particular contest? You gave the contest
Yes,
yesterday.
yes.
Okay, so how many did you solve? So okay, you solved D, you solved
I
C,
got the observation of one single swap, but I could not implement it.
but you
I
over here I'm
absolved it.
able to see you have solved D, right? This was post the contest.
Absolved it.
Okay, you absolved
Yes,
it. Man, actually it's great. So see, the point over here is that no matter how you do it. Let's say if you're doing it in a contest, well and good, your ratings are gonna grow. But even if you do after the contest, in that case your ratings definitely are not gonna grow, but you're gonna learn something. And learning something
yes,
is obviously more important than growing your rating, because a particular contest would only grow your rating by a significant by some delta, right? It's not gonna get stick to it that if you solve the problem D today, every time your delta is not gonna grow by some amount, right? But if you learn something, then that ensures that every time you will actually have more wisdom or more knowledge of the concept. So technically your delta is gonna keep growing, right? So that's a good
yes.
thing I can say. Since you're already at this level, so are you doing this for your placements, or what's your final goal over here?
I am doing this for the placement perspective only.
Okay, so see, from placement perspective, you are pretty good now, I'll say. Now, what's the reason for saying that? Now, have you checked your rating, all India ratings over here in the standings?
No,
Okay, so
no, I didn't.
okay, so probably you would be somewhere in the top 1,000 or maybe like top 2,000 engineers, right? All time engineers in India. Cool, because at 750, 1750 or something, I was around top 500, top 600 engineers. Cool, or top 500, not engineers, but let's say coders. So right now, this particular level is good enough. Now, talking in terms of whether you will be able to clear the company exams, what I can say is that let's say if you sit for maybe like 10 companies, you'll be able to clear like maybe 7 or 8. That's a good enough scenario, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is good enough. So if you're doing it for placements, you are definitely going in the right track. But if it's just for placement, then I'll say like start focusing a bit more on lead code as well, right? Because there are certain questions that won't be here. For example, linked list, right? Linked list, you won't get any questions of linked list over here. Then binary search questions that are actually, or maybe like, let's say like design questions, right? So they cannot provide you design questions or linked list questions for that matter, or that standard tree question where you have to go from a node to node, or nodes question for in general, right? So those questions won't be here. And let's say even if you are great at CP, then also you might even get stuck at a very simple question of LC. So that shouldn't be the case. Cool.
Okay.
So
I have
considering a bit,
also
yeah.
shared my resume.
Okay, share your resume. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I'll have to save that. Okay. Where did you make it? Did you make it in
Overleaf.
LaTeX or what?
In Overleaf.
In?
Overleaf.
Acha, Overleaf. So yeah, that is LaTeX actually. Yeah, cool. That's a good strategy. Now, why the reason I'm saying that is because generally in the automated testing, it becomes easier for it to detect the keywords. Okay, let's look at this. So I want to look at the achievements. So you have some achievements over here. Don't you think everything is pretty tightly coupled with the coding?
Yeah, I have done mostly CP, so that's so.
Okay, so now the problem is that although you're from good college, right? Now, one of the problem I'm able to see is that when someone looks at your profile, right? So right now it's not like you're a candidate master or even expert. You definitely will be expert, and probably by the time you sit for placements, you're gonna be a candidate master. But let's consider the scenario right now. So right now you are a specialist, right? And if you say that I have spent all the time doing CP, and still I'm this and still I'm a specialist, the interview might think otherwise. That why weren't you able to do more than that? Like just considering of a random possibility, definitely you're gonna grow, and then that case is not gonna arise. But it would always be better to have at least one more achievement that's not tightly coupled with CP. And over here you are having actually maybe like how many pointers do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So you have 7 pointers from CP itself. So you can remove a few of them. For example, like maybe this, right? You can remove this one. Okay, so
Okay.
you have let's say ICPC. You can put it over here. Then CodeChef is also fine. So you can put one from Code Forces, right? And maybe you can remove lead code. I don't think it would matter, right? Or you can remove code chef. So I'll say at max keep maybe 3 or 4 over here, and along with that you can mention some extra things. So I'm sure definitely you achieved something that is different from CP that you might even think it's not worth to mention over here. But trust me, putting everything from CP in this section and not putting anything else is much worse than putting something that you don't think is that much good. Make sense?
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
uh okay, top 2.5%, that's fine. Okay, so currently at your level, I feel you are not able to do that well in lead code. I'm not sure why.
I have not given much contest on
Oh,
that.
cool. Yeah, then that makes sense. Try to give some more context if you're mentioning it in your resume. I think you probably would be able to come somewhere around 1%, top 1%. Cool. So
Yes.
this is fine. This is gonna go to expert soon. Let's look at your projects now. So you have the projects on GitHub. That's cool.
Yes. It's hosted deployed also.
Okay, it's deployed, but I just wanted to look at the documentation. Okay, so basic stuff. That's fine. Okay, then. Okay, what does this do?
It is actually the implementation of Dijistra's algorithm. So
Okay.
finds the shortest path.
Mm-hmm.
A node can be weighted. We can set over there.
Okay. Hey, this is pretty cool. Hey, let's do one thing. So, actually, discuss the same thing with a few of the other members as well. Right now, like you're in college, right? Even though this is actually a good project, right? It's kind of informative as well as it looks good, right? But still, you don't have any stars over here, and no one has actually fogged it, right? What you can do
Yeah.
is probably day after tomorrow on Sunday, we are gonna have a session where we are gonna discuss the open source projects we have already done or the projects that are already on GitHub. So a few people are gonna talk about their projects. The benefit would be that I would be recording it and putting it over here, right, on YouTube maybe. And also the other people that would be involved in a community would be able to see your projects. And if they are interested, so they can star mark it, and then probably the star marks are gonna increase. And also that if someone feels that there are some improvements that can be done, so you can also improve that. So it would be a win-win situation, right? Make sense, bro?
Yes.
Okay, so do that on Sunday. This is not hosted.
It is hosted.
Okay, this is hosted. Let's see. What does this do, Anne?
It is a restaurant review application, so we
Okay.
can filter the restaurants and add a review to it.
Okay, cool. So do one thing, improve its GUI. The GUI isn't great. And the thing should be that as soon as I open it, right, I should be able to understand what the project is doing. Cool. So for example, even over here, when I opened it, there should have been some
Mhm.
statement which actually told me what it did. Maybe over here, right? So it shouldn't be the case that you as a author need to tell me that what all this project is doing. The project should be kind of self explanatory, right? If I open Facebook, they already tell me that sign up over here and all that stuff. Understand my point?
Yes, I got
So,
it.
so yeah, pension statement over here. Other than that, let's see. So yeah, this is fine. This is good actually. There won't be any problem over here. Yeah, this is fine. Complexity of written. Now you have some backend developer experience. Okay, this is the intern experience.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you should write this?
Last line.
Yep. Like I didn't actually read every line, but this kind of got my attention. So sorry if I missed actually a lot of lines. I didn't actually read any line for that matter. This is the first line I'm reading in a resume.
Uh,
So do you really think you should write such things like learn to use Postman for API testing? Very very basic stuff, right? You could have uh, kept it subtle.
okay, I'll
So
remove it.
you got my point, right? It's not a big thing to
Okay.
achieve, right? So you could have kept it subtle, wherein you said that okay, I used this thing. So you could have said that okay, I used Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and Postman. You can have set it over that, right? So right, this makes it
Okay.
explicit, and it's not that big of a thing that should be mentioned. And then you said that worked with team members along with using version control systems. All of these things, actually the thing is that you are mentioning it in an experience, right? So you don't need to mention what all things you are using. That all the things you can keep it at one place, and it's always assumed that you'll be using Git. So this
Yes.
line needs to be removed, right? The
Okay,
things
I'll
that are
remove
already
both of.
expected, right, or are the usual things, or are the normalized scenarios that cannot be counted as a highlighted thing, right? So you need to construct an authentic system that allows to create. Okay, you can elaborate over here what exactly you created, how it was better, all of that stuff you can elaborate over here, right? And when over here, when you're saying that created a reliable backend using Node.js, Express, and MongoDB to derive this line is fine, right? Instead of created, you can say developed, just to
Okay.
be a bit more technical on that aspect. To drive clients commerce website. Don't you think you should have written that I developed the reliable backend you based on Node.js, Express, and MongoDB for the client's e-commerce website. For some client's e-commerce website or for a client's e-commerce website, also you can mention the name of the client over here. Like then
Okay.
the statement itself is not that appealing. I'll suggest you. I'll post this session. I'll share a link with you, right? You can take some pointers from that and try to improve the way you have written it. This section is already
Sure.
like your accomplishments are already great. You are doing good on that part. But the first thing a reviewer would see is actually your resume itself. He won't see your CP profiles and stuff. So this needs to be good. I'll just ping me after this session. I'll share link. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, bro.
Thanks.
Cool, man. Okay, so yeah, who's next? Okay, okay. I got a lot of profiles now. Crazy Coder, your mic is working. Okay, Crazy Coder isn't here.
Yeah,
Now,
working.
okay, you're working. Cool. Let's see your profile. Okay, Crazy Coder, are you new to the server?
Yeah, I am new.
Okay, cool. So congratulations, you just got pupil, or in 2023 you got pupil. So what's your problem? I see a growth. Definitely, I see a growth. So what's the exact problem you are facing? That the growth is slow or what?
Actually, I am able to solve A and B in almost every contest,
Mm-hmm.
but unable to solve C.
Okay, so you are never able to solve C.
No, no. Sometimes I am able to solve C
Mm-hmm. Other times you are not
in
able to.
div 2. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
In div 3, I am able to solve almost four questions.
Cool. So let's see what's the problem then. Okay, so you are practicing this kind of a scenario. That is fine. This is the ideal thing you should be targeting, right? Over here, the number of C problems you have solved is also more than B. That's also fine. So why isn't it happening? Let's check for the topics you have practiced. So greedy you have practiced 264. Hmm. The binary search questions are 67. I think you can increment them, considering that you have solved 245 and 264 questions of these. This is something you can improve, right? Let's come to the DP. So yeah, DP is also less. Okay, so what I'll suggest is that you already have practiced sufficient number of questions from greedy, right? Start practicing a few more questions from binary search and from DP. Also, you can check the channel. So the problem is that almost everyone understands what binary search is, but we are still unable to apply it when required. Cool. So because of
Yeah,
that particular problem itself, I actually made a video and a few people actually found it helpful as well. So that would technically teach you how to utilize binary search on various questions. So that you
yeah.
can search for that video on this channel itself, on my channel, and that video should help you for binary search. And DP is one more thing I'll suggest you to do. Now for C, you don't need actually complicated DP. It won't be like DP on trees or something of that sorts, but the basic DP concepts should be clear. If you feel that DP is kind of tough for you, start doing recursion based questions. So is recursion a tag over here? It should be actually. Okay, so instead of recursion they might have said DFS, but anyway. Okay, so the two things I'll suggest you to do is firstly solve binary search questions more, right?
Okay,
And other than that, start doing DP. And
okay.
yeah, over here I'm able to see. So when I'm saying recursion, so I think they categorize it under DFS. So the problem is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
let's say I give you a problem, right? Now I ask you to implement the
Mhm.
solution for it. Either you go and it's a DP based question, so either you'll go with the top down approach and bottom approach, right?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
considering that it's the first time you're seeing that kind of a question, so it's always more intuitive to get a top down approach, right? Now if you're doing a top down approach, that means you should have good practice of recursion topics. So this is the other topic you need to focus on, that is DFS and similar. Cool. So
Okay,
this and this, these are the three topics. Start focusing on this, and you know how
okay.
to practice. I am assuming so. You have already solved a lot amount of questions, right? So I'm assuming you already know how to select the tags and how to practice them, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, man. All the best and congrats once again. Anything else you need help with? Cool.
Actually,
Uh huh.
I am in second year, so Can you suggest me how to prepare for my internship drive?
Okay, so your internship drive, you are currently in second year, right? So
Yeah,
your
first
internship
semester.
drive would be after a few months, I guess,
Yes, August.
in August, and we are in March. So yeah, you actually have sufficient time for. And which college are you from?
I am from NIT Kurukshetra.
Okay, NID Kurukshetra.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what you can do is that start with the lead code questions first, right? If why I'm saying lead code question is because of the same reasons that there are some topics that are not covered in CP that would be there on lead code, right? Linked list for that matter, or in design questions for that matter. Now do that parallelly. You should keep continuing with CP, but parallelly do those as well. Other than that, whenever make sure that these ABC problems are solvable. Now there's no point in solving E for placement. So if you're solving the problem E for placement, it's of no use. No one's gonna ask you square root decomposition or something that is too very complicated in a placement or internship exam. So make sure that
Oh.
you're able to solve ABC. Don't start targeting E and F. Firstly
Actually,
get,
I
yeah.
think
Mhm.
ABC are implementation based,
Right.
but actually companies ask like
Yeah, so yeah, you're right.
standard problems.
No, no, the problem
So,
over here is that companies do ask problems that are based on trees or graphs and stuff, right? Now, these
mm,
kind of problems you'll find at maybe E or F on code forces. But then it's
mm,
not just about trees and graphs. They'll actually utilize some very complicated data structure or very complicated algorithm over that. That won't be required for your placements. So the
Bro,
reason
it's
I
better
said,
to
Mhm.
it's better to do add code a D uh, for graphs and trees. It will be somewhat like CP-ish and
Right,
placement related.
yep,
Add code
makes
a D
sense.
question.
Okay, so Crazy Coder, you got the review. Zombie is actually right. So Ad Coder is somewhat more linked with lead code. You can say it's like a combination of lead code and code forces, right? But
okay.
the reason I said that do ABC from code forces and do lead code parallel is that because if you're doing ABC, you'll be able to build your intuition, and using a
Mm,
lead code, you'll be able to solve problems that are strictly based on data structure and algorithm. So you'll be getting best of both the worlds. Make sense?
okay.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool, man. Okay, Novice, your mic is working. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, I'm
okay,
here.
cool. Let's review your profile then. Novice, the data points over here are actually too very low. You're getting my point.
Yeah, I was inconsistent. I started seriously after November only.
Okay, so are you happy with your growth? Like in November, you were over here, right?
Mm. No,
Are
but
you
it
happy?
still keeps dropping.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps dropping every time.
Okay, so do you absolve?
Yes, yes. I am able to do A, B 50% of the time, and C I have just done once during a contest.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, solved it 1500. That's fine. Something definitely is lacking over here. How long does it take you to solve A?
8 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes.
How long for B?
B goes until like 40 minutes.
Okay, see, so in ideal scenario, it should take you like maybe 2-3 minutes to solve A, and maybe another 10 to 15 minutes to solve B. Cool. If that is not being the scenario, then you are lacking a bit. Now the way to improve it is you should solve some problems. So over here, I'm able to see that you're not solving A, you're just solving B. That's kind of fine. But just like even if you are practicing, then it should be like if you're solving two B's, then just solve a single A, right? So that you don't you are not compromising on the speed aspect of it, right? And after that, this graph, if I look over here, so it's going a bit down over here, but right now it's like you are at 900 level, right? Or at 1100 level, so you should be targeting the
Currently,
1300 range,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. So currently I'm trying to do the A2J, whatever the flat is.
No, so don't do it that way. That's the problem. So don't do it by tags of the questions itself.
Okay.
Try to do based on the ratings. So you should be targeting this particular range. So right now you're at 1100. try targeting questions within this range, 1300 to 1400. Cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense, because if you're solving 1600, 1700, they are a bit above your level. They're definitely gonna help, but not right now. If you're solving maybe 800, that's below your level. So you should be targeting this particular range. So next time we have a session, I expect you to maybe solve like 2 questions per day from both of these levels. One maybe 2 questions on 1300, 2 questions on 1400. So that would be 4 questions per day. Make sense? Even if you do it like for a week, you'll be having 28 questions done. So this graph would automatically at least increase by 1.5 times, right?
Sure.
So yeah, do that and let me know if that helps. And yeah, do solve, like never leave up solving. Cool. Who's gonna go next? Ketan bhai, your mic is working?
Yes, it's working.
Okay. So yeah, Ketan's profile is up. A pretty good profile. Okay, so Ketan is an expert. Congrats, Ketan. And he has a good profile. And yeah, this is something I want to show. You're able to see this kind of a graph. So Ketan, how intentional was it? You can't say it was not intentional. But how did you even
No,
do
no,
that?
I thought, initially I thought that I should be consistent. So I got an idea that I will write my name on the graph.
That's a good thing, man. This is gonna be the thumbnail of the video. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, good thing. So your growth is good. This is something, I'll not say it's exceptional, but yeah, it's a bit rare, I'll say. Not too
No,
rare,
I
but a
had
bit rare.
done lead code before, means I have
Yeah,
done
I know
600,
that.
700 questions already.
Yeah, I know the Java programmer. I had some comments maybe on some post. I don't know. Anyway, so the point over here is that your growth is good. Everything seems to fall in line, and I personally know that you know the advanced concepts as well, right? So there's no problem or some specifics that I can tell you. Over here, I was able to see that the growth wasn't good, but from this time onwards, from the end of 2022, the growth seems to be fine from this particular, not end of 2022, but starting of 2023. The growth seems to be fine. But this is definitely gonna drop. Like
Yeah.
there's a higher probability of it dropping than of it being consistent or going up, right? You're able to understand the thing. So now you need to realize that you already know even the harder concepts. You already know what binary lifting is, right? You already know what DP on trees is, what digit DP is. You know all of these concepts. Now still I'm saying that it's gonna drop a bit. Now the reason for that is because what happens is that in a contest we sometimes are unable to figure out that what exact algorithm is applicable over here, and mostly it would happen in case of gradient stuff, right?
Yeah, constructors too.
What?
Constructors also are means problematic.
Yeah, constructive problems. Yeah, exactly. So that would come with practice, but it clearly have a lot of that. So it shouldn't be a problem, right? The only thing is that you just came into this range and it's expected that as soon as you touch a range, your graph actually comes down a bit and then it starts going up. So yeah, no improvements from my side. Your fundamentals are clear. You're doing well. I hope you keep growing then. Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool, bro. Cool. So who's next? Duts. Narottam Viswas. Okay, so his mic, he's not over here. So let's move to the next profile. Rohit, your mic is working?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's view your profile then. Okay. That's a bad profile. Like you are putting some efforts, you are not getting the results, right? But you are not even that consistent. So you're not giving every contest?
Approx more than 60%
Okay, cool.
or 70%.
Do you absolve?
Like one question or sometime two questions.
Okay, that's fine. I don't expect anyone or even me to absolve more than that. But let's look at the problem. So you currently are at 911. You are solving 1100. I don't see a lot of absolving, to be honest, right?
Yes.
And I don't see even if you're absolving, absolving could be that. I don't see a lot of practice. You need to do that actually.
Like what should I do? Practicing question according to tab or according to rating?
Rating. See, the problem is that it sometimes happens that your C question would be extremely hard, right? Sometimes it's extremely easy. So doing it on basis of tag actually doesn't make a lot of sense unless and until you are actually scared of the tag itself. Now sometimes it happens that people are scared of a particular tag, that okay, if C is gonna come or D is gonna come, I'm not gonna able to do it. If that's the case, then it makes sense to solve based on tags, right? Or
Like,
okay, so you mean
I'm
topics?
also I'm also not solving a question in like 10 minutes. Like on contest, I'm
Oh,
solving a question like approx 30 minutes.
okay. Let's just look at a summation of yours. Let's look at a question that you solved. Let's look at this. This is fine. Let's look at some other. Sometimes what happens is that even when we are writing the A question, right, we are able to do it, so we don't look at the editorials and stuff. I'll always recommend you to at least look at the editorial once. You can look at my videos for that matter. You can play them at 2x or maybe even 3x using some YouTube speeder. But the thing is, the reason I'm asking you to look at A is because it's possible that the way you were thinking of the question was actually too very complicated. A easy solution existed for that, right? Or the way you coded it up was complicated. You could have done it in a better fashion. So those things would only come if you look at the solutions. If you are already satisfied that okay, I've done something and that's perfect, I'm not going to look at the solutions, then there's no scope of improvement over there. And see, you are saying that you absolve, but I'm not able to see any absolving over here. See, every time it's A and B, hardly I'm able to see a C. Most of the times it's just A and B, A and B. This is a done thing, but I guess it's div 4. So yeah, in div 2, I'm not able to see C. You able to understand? So these are the things that you need to improve on. If you don't do these, then it's always going to be the same. This graph is not going to improve. So 2 pointers for you are that always and always absolve for the problems A and B, or for any problem that you are able to do, right? And if you have the slightest of the doubt that there could have been a better way of doing it, or your way of thinking about the question was not correct, then try to see the tutorial for those problems too. And always absolve at least 1 or 2 problems more. And I can see that you actually started like grinding over here, but give some more grind. Cool.
Okay, like I
Uh-huh.
absolve till C, A,
Yeah.
B, and C.
Yeah. So A you are always able to do, right? It's never the case you are not able to do A, right?
Yes,
So if you're always able to do A and you are able to do B sometimes,
yes. Sometimes.
yeah, so definitely has to be there. So you always have to do up till C. In case you are only able to solve A, then do B and C. If you're able to solve A and B, then do C and D. But in case you feel that the D is becoming too hard, just ping me on the group, or you can post it out over here on Discord channel, right? Just post it out probably over here. That is it too hard? This is my rating. Should I solve it or not? I'll review it. Cool. Make sense?
Okay. And what is the ideal time of the single question when you solve on a daily basis?
That would actually depend. So let's say your rating currently is 900, right?
Okay, yeah.
Staying at 900, let's say you're practicing a question of 1000 rating just for practice, right?
Yes.
So that shouldn't take you maybe like a few minutes. But let's say now you are solving maybe 1300, 1400 level problem just to grow. In that case, taking like half an hour or so is fine. But don't give
So
it more than that. Like don't give it an hour or 2 hours maybe. That's not worth it.
okay, so for 1000, like try to solve in half hour. After that, if I'm not solving, then should I watch the video
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a
yeah.
tutorial?
So let's say you have already done it for half an hour, right? Then go for the tutorial or go for the video. That actually depends. Now I personally feel that videos are generally more easier to watch, right?
Yeah,
But
easy
you
to
won't
understand.
yeah, easy to understand. But you always won't find a video on that particular question. Now I'm making the videos on a recent contest, right? But I don't have videos on all the contests of the past, right? So you might land into a scenario where the videos aren't available. In that case, editorials are the only way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so do that. Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Cool, bro. Okay, who's next? Rohit is done. Distract is over here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Distract is from Palestine. Okay, congrats, bro. You just became pupil. Did
Thanks.
you give the contest yesterday?
No, I didn't get in.
Okay, cool. No worries.
but I solve A and C, but I get the solution of B and D from you.
You got the solution, you understood it,
Yes, I understood it.
it was helpful, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
yes.
that's cool enough. So your graph looks fine to me. You are on a consistent upgrowth, and this also is not normal. Like people generally have that dips and rises. You are on kind of a consistent upgrowth trend, right? But now, once you have reached this pupil territory, right? Now you'll need to practice certain types of questions. Let's look if you practice. Do you practice the questions, or do you just look on
Uh,
test over here?
I am practicing 900
Don't do
for
that.
now.
Don't do that. That's counterproductive because right now your rating actually is 1200. Now if you're practicing 900, you're not gonna go anywhere. It making
Should I
sense?
go for what's star of point of question? I'm
You sh-
solving 900 points.
no. So you should go for your rating plus 200. So right now your rating is 1200. You should go for 1400. So whatever your rating is plus 200 is the level you should target to grow. Make sense?
Mm,
But in your
yes.
case, you have not solved any questions or like a lot of questions from 1100 or 1200 or 1300, right? So what's likely gonna happen is that from here you are gonna fall again. Cool.
Should I solution get to go for 1200
Yeah, not
question?
1000, but yeah, from 1100 to 1400. Now this is actually a big range, but this is the range you should be targeting. So do one thing, do a question from 1100, 1200 and 1300 to 1400. So do 4 questions daily, one from each one of them. Cool.
Okay.
That should help you grow.
Yes.
Because if I ask you to stay with this range, right, then this range won't be practiced, and it's possible that your fundamentals are not clear over here in this particular range because you are having like a pretty unique graph. So because even without solving a lot of questions, so probably you have a good IQ or something, because even without solving a lot of questions you were able to reach over here, but now it's going to drop probably. So you got my point, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool bro, all the best. Any other doubt you have? Cool then. Who's next? So Ihababad. Sorry bro, I'm unable to pronounce your name correctly, but if your mic is on, can you please type? Oh, sorry, can you please speak if your mic is
I'm
on?
here.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, you are over here. Cool. Okay, so you are also on the same path. You are actually growing. Let's see how your profile looks like over here. Okay, your profile is good. This is good. So you are already practicing the right questions. Keep on the same trend, I'll say. Do you upsolve? Do you practice questions on daily basis? Ibabad?
I'm solving lately two questions
Mhm.
per day,
Okay, that's fine.
and I'm targeting right now at the 400, 1,400 and 1,500.
Yeah,
This range.
that's correct. So that's the ideal range you should be targeting. So I don't think there's anything yeah.
Any specific topics I should target?
Let's look at that. So in this particular range, right, this particular range, mostly you'll be getting the constructive algorithms, right, or intuition based questions. After this range, you'll be getting questions from DP and stuff, but right now you'll be getting only these implementation based questions or constructive algorithms. So you've already practiced some questions from that. Now in order to grow, you should start doing binary search. Binary search you have already done 35, so that's cool, but do a bit more of these. Start doing DFS and similar. Cool. And maths is 143, that's good enough. So rest all things seem fine to me. But even if you don't select this particular topics, then also when you'll select this particular range, that is from 1300 to 1500, you'll automatically be solving these questions only, right? Which I just said. So that won't be a problem. Just keep
Yes,
doing it. Don't compromise on your consistency, because that's the thing that's gonna make you go. Cool. Anything else?
How much I need to get a specialist?
Bro, so you are currently at 1206, so that means another 200 level is required. Now, what do you mean by how much? You want to know the time or how many more questions you want to do? How do you want me to, quantify it?
Like how many the expected duration till I could reach a specialist
Okay, so that
from
actually
my
depends,
current level.
right? Okay, so I'll say looking at the graph, it's gonna take you long. It might take you like maybe 5 6 months. Looking at the graph, the way I've grown. But if you have recently started practicing more, then it could be possible that next month you're gonna become a specialist. It could be the case if you practice hard. If you try to absolve, how many questions do you absolve? Just wanted to see that. Okay, so let's say that yesterday you didn't absolve any questions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so so see, absolving is definitely one of the things that is gonna help you. So over here, I can see that you started solving this particular problem, but then you didn't reach to a conclusion, right? So what did you do about it?
There's no editorial for this problem, so I'm stuck at it.
Okay, let's see.
It's an ACPC problem.
ICPC problem. They don't even have a tag for this. You could have posted it in the group, right? Have you posted over here?
No, I didn't.
Cool, you can post it over here. We'll have a look. So never leave a problem, because what happens is that you'll actually develop a habit of leaving problems then. That's pretty bad, right? Leaving one problem is
Yes.
not a big thing, but that actually becomes a habit of ours. You should at least put all the efforts you can. You should have posted it over here, right? And it's possible that it could be a pretty hard problem. Then we won't even require to solve it, or we won't even be able to help you to solve it. But that would be the case that you actually
Actually,
gave all the efforts.
Actually, I believe that my approach is right, but like there is an edge case or something.
Okay, so what you can do for that? So there's something you can do for that as well. Have you watched my video on generating random test cases?
No.
Okay, so there's this software, right? You just install it on your system. You provide it with the correct answer. So you open anyone's code. So this code is right? So I can open this code, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
Well,
what
it's
sort of- okay.
private.
No. So I've
It's
not
private.
logged in. I've not logged in right now. Maybe that's why I'm not able to open this code. But just open anyone's code, right? Paste it over there. Paste your code over there, and then tell it the kind of input you're actually trying to get, and then it'll run over several inputs, and it'll tell you that at which input your code is failing. Cool.
So it's an extension.
Yeah, it's not an extension. It's a software that is available. So you can say it's a Python program, Python script, you can say, that's available over GitHub. So I downloaded that. I made a video on that as well. If you want,
Okay, so what's the name of the video?
anyone over here knows that? Okay, anyway, I'll have to check that. Anyway, you can just post it in CP Doubts. I'll find that video and I'll share the link over here. Cool.
Okay, thank
Cool,
you.
bro. Cool, man. Cool. Who's next? So, okay, Crazy Code is done. He's done. This is done. Is done. Do I have to open mic? Actually, you need to, bro. But anyway, let me just look at your profile, Ashish Kumar. Can't speak right now. Oh, good profile, bro. I'll actually looking at your profile. I need to have some conversation before giving any inputs. So, would it be fine if we review your profile maybe next time? If you're not able to speak, you can just type over here, because otherwise it's gonna become a pretty long conversation. Like I'm gonna say something and then I'm gonna wait for your reply. Sorry, bro, we couldn't help you right now. Cool. Any profiles left? Anyone wants his profile to be viewed, or I missed someone's profile? He can let me know. Cool. Then we are gonna end this session. Shan, you can stay over here. Maybe without recording, I'll just go over your profile. Cool. Cool, guys. Bye bye.